And we are away for yet another audio test. Turn my volume up. There we go. 1-2. Check 1-2. Round 17 in NPL Victoria. Coming to you live from the Jenner Steel Stadium scaffold, Ivka.
Yes, yet another sound check here on Friday night at Jenner Steel Stadium.
Happy? Night begins with a minute's silence for the late, great Vlado Petrovski. On a historic night here at Genis Steel Stadium, the first time since 2011 these two sides have faced off at this venue. A rivalry reignited this season upon Preston's return to the top flight. It's a huge game for both sides. Heidelberg chasing the minor premiership. They lost top spot to Avondale last week after a 2-2 draw with Dinamo. Preston trying to cement their spot in the finals. And it's just one change for the Preston Lions. No Adrian Valenti in the squad at all. In comes Aaron Anderson at fullback. Lucas Trenkovski is between the sticks. Jake Tchaikovsky and Matthew Bozanovsky is the central defensive combination. Stefan Nigro will likely shift across to left back, with Oliver Kubalay and Brandon Lawton continuing in holding midfield. Jason Romero plays in behind. Jonas Markovsky to centre forward. Leighton Brooks and Connor Bell on the flanks. On the bench for Preston, Dom Polino comes back in. Giorgio Serdenis, Marcus Schoen, Jan Albano, Jacob Ogdanovsky is the backup goalkeeper. And Luke Jago making his first appearance in a matchday squad since doing his hamstring away at the Melbourne Knights in round 10. He scored against Heidelberg off the bench last time out. Could history be about to repeat itself? For Johnny Anastasiadis, he's made just one change from the side that dropped disappointing points at home to St Albans, although credit must go to them for their fight back from 2-0 down. Chok Dow, the former Preston player, drops to the bench. Max Basetto into the starting lineup, joining Bull Juach and Sabit Nyor in the front three. Asahi Yokokawa, Anthony Lesiotis and Mohamed Aidara are the midfield three. The back four of Jamal Ali, Ben Collins, Ryan Lethlin and Fletcher Fulton. Yaron Souza between the sticks. On the bench alongside Dow, Jay McGowan, another former Preston player in Dalibor Markovic, Peter Klaassen, Anthony Theodoropoulos and Ryan Govan. My name is Josh Parrish, delighted to be joined once again here at this great venue by Mark Ivkovic. Ivka, the last time you were here was a special night. Are you expecting more fireworks this evening?
Well, there's been a lot of fireworks already in the lead up to kick-off. Absolutely electric atmosphere. Absolutely electric atmosphere here tonight. But big game for both sides, really. Heidelberg, like you said, need to keep in touch with Avondale and Preston. If results go their way and they can get all 3 points tonight, they'll definitely be a certainty to make the top six.
Asahi Yokokawa, first early forward foray. It's picked off by Nigro. And looking at the way Preston have lined up, contrary to what we expected, Jake Tchaikovsky is playing left back with Aaron Anderson as one of the central defenders.
It's probably his more natural position. Anderson, it's been a while since he's played next to Bozanovsky, but probably his more natural position for him.
Certainly it leaves Tchaikovsky as the Mr. Fix-It man out of position. See how he copes with the flying Heidelberg wingers, including Sabit Nyor on his flank, who scored a double last week. Big test on that side.
Does give him some big bodies at the back as well, so a little bit more strength as well. They will lack the pace a little bit, but if they can keep their structure right, it should nullify the threat that Heidelberg has out wide.
Fulton getting around Brooks and stepping inside Nigro. This is brilliant from the Tasmanian, but the cross didn't match the dribble. What have you made of Fletcher Fulton stepping into that left-back role this season, Ivka? Johnny A's been looking for an answer, and it's come in the form of a converted winger.
Yeah, sometimes that's players are more suited to that, like a winger. They know how to attack. All they need to learn is the defensive side, and in the Johnny A setup, you know, you're not defending all too much. It's more about being on the ball, so it would suit him in this side to play in that position.
Trenkovsky's launched it downfield. Markovsky's head up, flicked on to no one in particular. Fulton. Nigro. Aidara. Twisting and turning away from Lawton. Aidara couldn't get past Nigro. Bit of a wrestling match going on in there. Fulton went to ground. And the ball breaks kindly for Markovski, who opened the scoring for the Lions last week. Brooks with the ball in. The floater gets caught in the strong winds here tonight. Conditions will be a major factor, Ivka.
Yeah, I think if anything, it'll help Preston because the ball will slow down when Heidelberg's attacking. So we know they like to play a high-paced attacking style of football, so it should allow them to be able to regroup when they're in transitional moments. Heidelberg won't be able to play at that frenetic pace for the 90 minutes.
Well, Idara was convinced it was his throw. Goes the way of the home team. Credit to the fans who've come out tonight in such poor conditions. I'm sure sitting home in the couch and watching the stream was very tempting, but the grandstand absolutely jam-packed.
Yeah, you get the feeling there would have been a couple extra thousand here if it was a nice balmy autumn evening, but we're into winter now, so this is when the season really gets going, and especially for the players on the pitch as well. The pitches get heavier. Conditions like tonight, that's when it starts getting really tough.
Well, the breeze favours Preston in this first half, and you saw how difficult Yaron Souza found it to get the required distance on his goal kick there.
Well, we've seen in the last few weeks Heidelberg as well struggling to play out from the back and making a few mistakes that have either cost them goals or nearly cost them goals. So I'm sure Louis Ostevsky would have identified that during the week, and they'll be looking to press Yaron Souza every time he's on the ball.
Trenkovski will take no chances here. Markovski can't get involved. He would have been well offside. And then you see the way that the breeze can favour you but also work against you. That one travels the entire length of the pitch. Sure, there'll be plenty of cage rattling going on. At the moment, it's just our commentary tower that's rattling in the high winds tonight. Souza sporting some strapping on the left upper leg. Something to keep an eye on. Probably wasn't at his best last week. Bisetto, Negro backing off. Calling Brooks in to make the challenge, and he does so with gusto.
Well read by Brooks, just that heavy touch from Bisetto as he cut inside.
Negro. Ball ends up back with Heidelberg. Negro can't keep that one alive. Round of applause though from the home head coach Louis Ostevsky for his centre forward's efforts in trying to win that flick on. Puljuash hemmed into a corner. Scoops it out very cleverly, and Fulton takes it on the chest. Wozanovsky will step in and thump it clear and into the path of the on-rushing Connor Bell. Really well marshalled by Jamal Ali. Collins, the captain, cool. Again, the ball holds up in the wind. Kubalay, neatly done. Romero getting involved for the first time. And Romero showing his studs there. No whistle from tonight's referee, Calvin Berg, who comes to Victoria from New Zealand. Originally from North Texas, though, so quite an interesting route to referee in NPL Victoria, Mark.
Yeah, it's a long route to come to Victoria, but as we know, NPL Victoria is the centre of the universe, so everyone wants to be a part of it.
Everyone gravitates here eventually. Sabitnyor held up well by Tchaikovsky, who wins their first duel. Bell went to ground. Nyor won it back. Fairly, says the referee. Chorus of boos from the home grandstands. Lesiotis, who's been in fine form this season, as have the Burgers in general. Until last week's stalemate, 10 consecutive wins in the league. They're unbeaten in 14 in all comps, Heidelberg. Oh, and Lawton stepping in late on Collins. Calvin Berg resisting the temptation to reach for his pocket early.
Yeah, it was a foul. Didn't think it warranted a booking. 50-50 challenge, just slightly late Lawton.
When we look at the all-time head-to-head, this is the 66th edition of this rivalry. The Northern Suburbs derby in Victoria that means so much for fans on both sides of the divide. At the moment, it is all square. This could be the tiebreaker. 23 wins each, 19 draws. It was all square last time out at the home of the Matildas. Nyor going to the byline. Very clever from Nyor. The flag is up on the far side, and the ball had trickled over the byline. But an early warning sign for Preston of the threat he poses with the ball at feet.
Yeah, that's the problem Preston's going to face all night long, is those runs in behind and the ability to slip past the central defender and the fullback. They're so clever at that, Heidelberg. Know when to make the runs, where to make the runs. It's so hard to track those runs as well if you're a defender.
Hallmark of Johnny A teams over the years.
No matter how much you prepare for it, when it actually comes at you, it's very hard to deal with.
Lawton. Anderson. Negro. Anderson again. Out to Tchaikovsky. Romero just slipped for a moment, but kept his feet and spins Ben Collins. Very nifty work from the American. A quickly taken free kick, though. Ended up being a waste.
As you can see how greasy the pitch is with that pass. Just really travelled. Brooks, no chance of getting there. Wasn't a bad pass.
Lawton applying the pressure. So too is Brooks, who came in bravely. Left lean. Trying to start the counter-attack. It was an awkward bounce for Tchaikovsky, who has to scamper back. And now it's Sabitnyor with space to attack in front of him. Has Ali in support. Tchaikovsky steps in with the well-timed challenge.
Superb defending from Tchaikovsky.
Oh, and Leighton Brooks has given away a cheap free kick there, just clipping the heels of his opposite number 7 in Fletcher Fulton. Fulton. Yokokawa. Checks inside onto his rights. Poor delivery in the end. Not up to his usual standards. That's going to be another free kick. Jonas Markovsky with the outstretched arm. If it was Harley Reid, that's play on, but in the round ball game, that's not going to fly.
Luckily for Preston, Heidelberg's not too interested in whipping in across from that sort of area.
Curious that, because they're not terrible off set pieces.
No, they have been good this season. Perhaps the conditions with that wind would be hard to get a good delivery into the area.
Especially with the wind going away from goal. Although, put it close enough to the keeper, he might come for something that's not his. Fulton, little flick off the shins of Brooks. George wouldn't settle for him. Brooks can't connect with Markovski. Preston trying to go fast in transition every time. One back by Lawton. Kubalay feeds it out to Brooks, and now down the line for Markovski. He goes over, and he will get the free kick.
Didn't think he did too much wrong there, left lane.
Contrary to Heidelberg, I think Preston have every intention of putting this one in the box.
Romero probably even consider shooting from this distance with the win.
With the form that he's in, the American sniper loves a long-range try. Romero's delivery is a good one too, and it's flicked on by Markovski. He just didn't react quick enough when the ball rebounded his way.
I think he expected it to come back out to him.
Lawton into touch will allow Preston to regroup in defence.
You can see Preston really scrambling when they lose possession in those transitional moments, not allowing Heidelberg to break with the pace that they've got.
Juach. Collins. To Ali. Yokikawa coming across. Make the extra number on the flank. He's thriving in that free roll. Every time the ball goes over one side, it's off to attack that fullback, give him a 2v1. You saw Ollie Kubalay was alive to the danger, tracked him all the way.
Yeah, Preston really well organised in that moment. Obviously identified his movements. Kubalay read that like a book.
That's what your opposition scouting's for. Collins. Cleverly forward. Collins still going. He's passed 3 challenges, Ben Collins. And eventually, Connor Bell comes in with the clearance. Well, used to Jamal Ali going on adventures from defence. Ben Collins less so, but he is good with the ball at his feet. Cleanly won by Negro. No. Whistle's gone. Man first is the assessment of Calvin Berg.
Thought it was a fair challenge from Negro.
Might have been a trick of perspective. From our side it looked fair, maybe from the opposite angle. The referee saw something we couldn't.
Yeah, well, he was quick on the whistle as well, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Yokikawa over the set piece, and now Heidelberg will swing it in towards goal. Left leans the target. It's come all the way through, and Trenkovski is the most relieved man inside Jenna Steele Stadium as Max Bassetto's bumbled attempt goes straight into his arms.
He didn't judge that properly. Bassetto really should have hit the back of the net. Preston be disappointed with the way they defended that set piece. There's virtually 2 players left alone there in the area.
Lawton's forward now for Preston. It's end-to-end action tonight. 2 NPL Victoria heavyweights. And they're both going for the jugular. A point won't do for either side. Brooks. Lofts it up towards Bell! And just over the crossbar from Connor Bell, who somehow got free between 2 yellow shirts.
What a ball in from Brooks. Jeez, he did well there, Connor Bell. Very unlucky not to find the back of the net.
There was a lot of time for the defence to adjust to that ball, though. It's a big error in communication between Collins and Ali, and you can see there were a few recriminations between the two of them. Heidelberg get away with one. Cleanly won by Markovski. And a miscommunication between Brooks and Lawton.
It felt like Collins didn't read the flight of the ball and got caught out backpedaling. It's a big moment for Connor Bell.
Needed to generate a lot of his own power with that header. Wasn't a lot of speed on the cross. I think that was the only way it was going in, a lofted header over the goalkeeper into the far corner.
It was very difficult. Probably wasn't expecting to get that ball with Collins in front of him as well. It was a good reaction time to get his head on the ball the way he did.
Well, good strikers, they always gamble that the defender's going to miss the ball. They always set themselves. Easier said than done, of course. Kubalay. Picked off easily by Fulton. And he's got acreage to attack. Besetto. Fulton. Very tidy 1-2. Besetto to the byline and the driven cross. He's picked off by Trenkovski.
It's good goalkeeping from Trenkovski, good positioning.
Fed down the line by Brooks. Romero. Idara hot on his heels. Romero jinks inside. Great ball! Markovski free header. And again it's off target. Preston failing to make their chances pay.
That was an even better chance than Connor Bowles. Markovski disappointed. He didn't find the back of the net. Great work from Romero down the right-hand side. Jeez, he did everything right, Markovski, in that moment, besides the actual header, his body positioning and his ability to jump up for that. Just needed a better connection on it.
Lovely lead-up work from Jason Romero. And really, on the balance of chances, Preston should be 1-0 up. Collins points at the ball. Referee takes a different view.
Preston's clearly identified a weakness in Heidelberg's defence to get balls into the area. There's 2 golden chances we've seen, and then a couple of attempts already with crosses into the box.
Negro. Just overcooked. Of course, you wonder whether the sun's not shining, but you wonder whether Preston are going to have to make hay now while they have the wind at their backs.
They'll definitely need to make the advantage, even the momentum that they've generated in the past 5 minutes. We've seen it time and time again this season with Preston creating great opportunities throughout games and not taking them, and it coming back to bite them.
Fulton came in very late. Brooks would preferred the advantage, I believe. Still clear free kick, and Preston have another set piece opportunity. As he said, he's quick on the whistle.
Just laying down the law nice and early. It's difficult to referee a game like this in these conditions as well. There's going to be a lot of challenges flying around.
Especially in a derby match. Both sets of players will be all too aware of what this means. Romero's going to go for goal. Well, that was never beating Yaron Souza from there. And a little shoving match involving Bozanovsky and Collins is brought to a halt. Not getting off without a lecture. Lesiotis. Souza goes out to left lean. Juach tried the little back heel. Straight to Bell. And he's taken down by Ali. And Preston are baying for a yellow card here.
It's got to be a yellow card, really. Preston were away there. It's a professional foul from Jamal Ali. Very risky by Bull Juach in the middle of the park to play a blind pass like that.
Orders coming from the touchline. Get more numbers into the box. Anderson's going to offer an extra aerial threat here. It's Romero. Very straight ball in, and that was always likely on that angle.
It's a poor delivery from Romero. Just need to probably loft it in with these conditions.
I think it's so difficult when you're so straight on to goal there to put a decent ball in the box.
It's not an ideal position for a free kick.
Dara nipping in ahead of Kubalay. Playing in Bassetto. 3 to aim for in the box for Max Bassetto. No way past Stefan Negro, but Heidelberg will get a second bite at this. Fulton coughed it up. Romero back defending. Brooks gives Markovski something to chase. Never favoured there, head of left lean. See Preston are targeting this right-hand side in particular. Markovski went down off the ball, and now he's sitting on the ball. And that's going to be an indirect free kick to Heidelberg. Just got in his teammates' way with his appeals. Left lean. Lesiotis. Ball's gone out. Steph Negro cops contact just as the whistle went. I hope that he hasn't dislocated it. Seems to be okay.
Preston's really suffocating Heidelberg at the moment. Not allowing them to play out, play that free-flowing possession football that they love to play and they're so good at.
I know you can't stand these stats, Ivka, but the last time Preston beat Heidelberg at BT Connor was in May 20th, 2007. It's been a long time between drinks. Johnny Sapazovsky with the winner that night. Not counting the automatic forfeit win Preston got in 2008 after Heidelberg were found to have fielded an ineligible player.
Being 15 years away from the top division will allow those stats to creep in, Josh.
Still almost 20 years since that last win here at home. Louis Otsevsky was in goals that day. Now he's marshalling this squad from the touchline. Preston have struggled for consistency this campaign. The highs have been high, the lows have been low. They've only strung together consecutive wins once this season.
Yeah, that's part and parcel of getting promoted into the top flight. Very difficult to find consistency in your first season.
Anderson does well. Juach hasn't really had a sniff so far.
Bozanovsky's really done well on him so far this evening.
Lesiotis, overcooked. I believe he was the NPL Victoria Player of the Month for May, Anthony Lesiotis. Been in great nick, 4 goals from deep midfield. Most of them from well outside the penalty area.
It's been exceptional this season for Heidelberg. Real key cog in that midfield. A lot of the play starts with him.
You won't soon forget his stunner in round 1 away at the Melbourne Knights.
I can't forget that one. It's been a few stunners this season from him. That's what Preston need to be aware of that tonight as well.
Ali. Idara. Tchaikovsky sliding in. Heidelberg trying to work their way in. Pretty congested passage down the right. That's a clever ball from Idara, and Jamal Ali flicks it over the head of his marker. Fortunately for Preston, Jason Romero was there to help out. Yokokawa. Hasn't come off for Yokokawa so far. Bozanovsky in the way. Lesiotis with a bit of time to assess things. Sabitnior screams out in frustration. He wanted that played early and in behind.
It was a good run.
Idara, Ali, now Sabitnior. Lethley. Lesiotis goes all the way home to Yaron Souza. Can they draw these red shirts out away from their penalty area? Fulton. Masetto, heavy touch. And a long spell of Heidelberg possession breaks down and amounts to nothing.
You're right, Josh. That's all exactly what Heidelberg were trying to do in that phase of play. Just start again and try and draw that Preston structure out. But so far, so good for Preston. Been really organised, being disciplined to what they've set out to do tonight. It's really frustrating. Heidelberg at the moment, they're just locking them into certain areas and they're not able to retain the possession the way they want to.
At the very least, holding onto the ball and attacking half just releases a little bit of pressure their defence has been under so far this evening. Quiets the home crowd down a little bit. Protracted spell of Heidelberg possession. They've won it off Bell here. Maybe they can go quickly this time. Well, the whistle had already gone for a foul on Yokokawa. Preston players stopped, so Sabitnior wasn't necessarily through.
It's interesting what Preston do when they do get the ball, though. You know, because they're sitting so deep, a lot of their attacking players are starting really deep in defence, and so Heidelberg's got time to get back and set up their structure as well.
Lethley. Bozanovsky. Very well done from Matt Bozanovsky, who's played every minute for Preston this season. He and Stefan Nigro have been the two players who've seen the most minutes. Brooks scampering away from Fulton is brought down, and we will see the first yellow card of the game. It was a matter of when, not if, for Fletcher Fulton.
He's let a lot go in the early stages of the game. Can't keep drawing that same type of foul when Preston's on the counter-attack.
You fancy Jamal Ali might be on his last warning as well, so that's a concern for Heidelberg. They do have Dalibor Markovic in reserve. The referee hadn't actually blown for the restart. Frustration on the touchline for Preston. Nigro's ball in. Bozanovsky the target. Jamal Ali puts it into touch. Nigro. Anderson. You see the intent, but Brooks and Anderson, the former Victory teammates, not quite on the same page.
Again, you see Preston's build-up play starting deep. It's difficult for them to find the right option at the moment. And those two chances that they had were when they won the ball up high, were able to make quick movements into the box.
Nior. Yelp of pain from Kubalay. Jamal Ali thrashing his arms about in disbelief. These are difficult conditions, to say the least. You can hear it on our effects mic. It is a blustery night. Bozanovsky. Almost the perfect pass.
In the dry conditions, probably was the perfect pass, and Brooks would have been in. The ball's definitely not holding up with those long passes. Few big games around tonight, Josh. South Melbourne has taken a 1-0 lead at Churchill Reserve against St Albans.
It's another relegation 6-pointer. Again, Sousa's ball holds up in the wind. Screaming at Basetto to come closer. Romero slipped off the ball, and now Lawton's brought down. Basetto really frustrated with the referee.
They've committed a lot of fouls in the last 5 minutes, Heidelberg.
It's just been stop-start every time Preston are in the Heidelberg half. I feel like they're not getting the rub of the green, but there have been a few this time challenges. Preston encouraging Negro to be that short option. It's going to be Brooks to take this one. Brooks drives it low, and it's just hoping for a rebound or a skid through the wet goalkeeper gloves of Yaron Sousa. None such luck.
He miskicked it. He was trying to hit that with a lot more pace than he actually hit it with.
Yokikawa. Lesiotis. Ali for Muir. And now Idara making the late burst from midfield. Mohamed Idara. No way past Oliver Kubalay. Wally Kubalay hasn't shirked his defensive responsibilities so far. Every time Heidelberg midfielder makes that run beyond, he's accountable for his player.
He's reading the play really well tonight, Kubalay. We've seen Heidelberg get into those positions time and time again this season and be able to score from those type of phases of play. But Kubalay's been all over it.
10 minutes to play in this first half. Preston with the two best opportunities of the game. Connor Bell and Jonas Markovski both coming close with headed attempts. And Heidelberg, who were leading the league for so long, who come in second tonight, need a response here, and they might get it through Nior, who takes a heavy touch.
Disappointed Nior there. He's able to finally, get past the fullback and find some space, but just a heavy touch.
Nior, one of the players walking the suspension tightrope tonight, another yellow card, and he will miss next week. Same can be said for Anthony Lesiotis. This is another great run from Ali. And Ali straight into the box, and Trenkovski gets a key glove on that. Heidelberg suddenly in behind with such vigour. They had plenty of numbers in the box waiting for that cutback.
Once Ali goes on a run like that, he's unstoppable. Again, we've seen that time again as well, that type of run from Ali. Lawton got it all wrong. Allowed a lot of space for Ali to get into there.
He's such a weapon going forward, the Heidelberg right back. You almost hesitate to call him a fullback, to pigeonhole him in that sense.
Just got the ability to glide through players on the ball. Very silky. Difficult to get the ball off him because he's so strong.
Yokikawa's corner. Into the near post. Away by Kubalay. Lane Brookston really had no hope there. And it's Basetto. Juach was waiting for the ball to break. Connor Bell taken down late, and Ali's going to go into the book now. He's on his third strike.
Well, you said he was walking a tightrope, Josh. Now it's even tighter. They're both fullbacks on yellow cards now. And Preston has been targeting those wide areas tonight.
Heidelberg in a pickle defensively.
especially in these conditions as well. You know, to get booked in the first half. And with the way Heidelberg likes to play, they are definitely walking a very, very tight rope.
They've only got the one natural defender on the bench in Dalibor Markovic. We've seen Anthony Theodoropoulos deputise in past injury crises, but you really want to put him at right back against Connor Bell.
Get the feeling that Johnny Anastasiadis will just gamble on his players being disciplined.
Wozanovsky. Back to Trenkovsky here. Raging Bull up top. Has felt penned in so far. $11 goals so far this season for him. It's a nicely weighted ball down the flank. And Connor Bell's going to keep this alive. No way past Ali that time. Great one-on-one battle between those two. Nyor went over, no whistle. Negro. Fulton flicks off his fringe and behind for a Preston corner. Tried to play it off casually, but the assistant referee was all over it.
Difficult for Souza to deal with this one with that strong wind. If Preston can get the delivery right.
Is there something brewing here for the Preston Lions? Jason Romero. It's a short routine. Lawton. Back to Romero. Across goal. And away by Lefley. And Heidelberg survive. Wasn't the smoothest of short corners, but it ended in a dangerous cross. Now Negro on the overlap. Stefan Negro's ball in. Lawton sliding in. And the whistle goes against Lawton.
So that was great work by Negro. Good ball into the area as well. Lawton just mistimed it. You know my thoughts on that corner, Josh.
Waste of time, short corners.
Yeah, big waste of time. Nearly caught him out as well. Could have been a big transitional moment for Heidelberg.
We'll have to agree to disagree there. Souza.
Trenkovsky's really been impressive at fullback tonight. You can see Nyor really frustrated.
Duach. Oh, he's done terrifically. Bull Duach around his man. Cross into the near post is away as far as Lesiotis. Out to Bassetto. Can he get a shot away? Cannons into Negro. Lesiotis falls short. Bell's head up. And Romero does well to keep it in Preston's possession for a moment. Negro clears.
Very risky pass by Romero. So deep in defence, that could have turned pear-shaped very, very quickly.
If it works, you're a genius. Know what happens if it doesn't. Sabit Nyor drifted back to his natural right flank. Almost broke to Brooks. And now Yokikawa slides it through. Buljuach from the angle. Heidelberg have the lead on the road. And it's the Raging Bull with his 12th of the season. They celebrate right in front of the Preston fans. A chorus of boos at Jenna Steele Stadium. But Heidelberg United are lapping it up.
Jeez. the one moment where Preston were stretched. That tackle from left lane just fell into the path. Jawach with a great run. Anderson just couldn't keep pace with him. It's a great finish from Jawach, showing why he's the lead marksman in the competition. I feel like Anderson probably should have got there.
I feel like he switches off for a moment. Aaron Anderson just doesn't catch the striker on his blind side. It's a good ball from Yokokawa, but he had a lot of space to play it in.
It's the one time they won't set properly, that Preston defence, and Paul Jawach smelt blood. That's all it takes sometimes, Josh, especially in these big games. Just that one moment of lapse of concentration. There's no chance Jawach was going to miss from there.
You make of the goalkeeping straight through Trenkovsky.
It's probably, again, he wasn't set properly as well. It was just a really quick phase of play out of nothing. You know, Preston was about to launch a counter-attack. Brooks didn't get their left lane with the strong challenge, and it just probably fooled everyone.
Jawach took it early, as most good strikers do. Powerfully driven into the near post. Skids through for yet another Heidelberg goal this season. And their streak continues. They haven't been held scoreless in any fixture since round 21 last season. Bonus points if you guess who that was against, Ivka.
Oh, who would have kept them scoreless? Avondale?
Thinking at the wrong end of the table, mate. It was St Albans on their unlikely escape from relegation. They were beating everybody for about 5 weeks. Brooks. 1-2 with Lawton. Breaks down as Lesiotis steps in to win the ball. Negro winning it back high for Preston. Brandon Lawton gallops infield. Kubalay. Kubalay goes for goal. The spill! And it's just recovered at the second attempt. Markovsky sliding in for the rebound. It was 2 minutes up on the fourth official's board a moment ago. Markovsky's going to go into the book for that.
It's a bit harsh.
Oh, Souza, so brave to pounce on that after his initial spill, but it's come at some personal cost from the looks of things. I feel like he's entitled to go for it. The ball's loose, Ivka.
100%. Markovsky's got every right to go for that ball. You know, Souza's got to obviously dive on it the way he did, but that ball was there to be contested. Mind you, I don't think Markovsky was actually offside. He was level with Collins.
Did the flag go up?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't have counted anyway. Third booking of the game, Markovsky trying to pounce for a tap in. Joran Souza will be breathing a sigh of relief. Well, I'm sure a bit sore and a bit worse for wear as he heads into the tunnel for half-time. Can Preston respond in a minute or so before the break? Felt as if they had Heidelberg on the ropes. They were rattled. The Burgers, like every good team does, were able to soak up the punches and hit with the jab at the other end. As much a mark of this team's resilience as the sparkling football we've seen them play this season. The fighting spirit they've shown tonight. Bell. Down the line for Lawton. Has a lot to do here. Cuts it back for Kubalay. Negro. Again, that switch to Brooks. What is that, 4 or 5 times now that ball's been overhit?
hasn't worked.
And Calvin Berg brings this very exciting first half to a close. We've had so much to sink our teeth into tonight. But it's Heidelberg who opened the scoring before half-time through their main man up top, Bull Juach. A lethal finish. The Preston defence only fell asleep for a moment, but Asahi Yokokawa with his 6th assist of the season, and Bull Juach with his 12th hitting the back of the net. Ivka, Heidelberg have survived that first half and come out in flying colours.
Yeah, look, I thought Heidelberg probably on the balance had the better of play.
Juach. As the Preston defence went to sleep for just a moment, and a moment was all he needed to fire one past Lucas Trenkovski and into the back of the net. A familiar sight for Heidelberg this season. Juach on the scoreboard and leading away from home. My name is Josh Parrish, Mark Ivkovic alongside me in commentary. First half was great to watch. We'll just stay with play for a moment here as Fulton goes past Lawton. Still Fletcher, Fulton to the byline. Bozanovski in the way. Ivka, bright start for Heidelberg in this second half.
It's going to be a big mountain to climb for Preston now in this second 45. They're going to have to open up a little bit now and be a bit more aggressive in attack, which will expose them to Heidelberg's threat on the counter as well with the pace and strength they've got. So it's going to be a tough task for Preston.
Sliding in was Idara. Lesiotis, when we spoke about his proficiency from range this season, not one of the better examples.
Terrible example of it. That's another factor as well. Preston against this strong wind tonight.
Trenkovski's goal kick ends up straight in the home dugout. They're going to struggle to get out of their own half now.
It's the last thing you would have wanted, Trenkovski as well. That first goal kick, you would have wanted to hit it to be a bit better, to get his confidence up against the wind.
Yokikawa did really well, and then the strike is a long way off target and almost into the Merry Creek.
Well, clear instructions for Heidelberg to just shoot on sight from distance with this wind.
Maybe a goalkeeper lacking in a bit of confidence after the first goal, and that goal kick as well. I'll put him under early pressure.
Yeah, we did watch the goal back at half-time. Felt like he could have done a bit better there in that moment, Trenkovski. Great finish from Juach, but still, it was savable.
Idara picks off the goal kick. Max Bassetto, who has scored against Preston before for Western United's second team last season in VPL 1. It's a 4-1 hammering at Ironbark Fields. And Preston did go on to achieve promotion at Western's expense.
Did well there, Jamal Ali, to draw a corner from that situation.
Yokikawa on corner duties again. Left lean, an obvious target in there. Collins forward as well. Ben Collins has a run at this! And he looked to settle for another corner, which eventually arrives.
Just held up the ball.
Oh, it's a goal kick has been given. So the referee's obviously said the last touch was off Collins, and it went out before the clearance. That's what the assistant was flagging for as well. Heidelberg outraged. Preston will play their way out of defence on the deck this time, but it's a slip from Kublai, and again Heidelberg win it back. Bassetto hits the deck. Heidelberg have a free kick, maybe just in shooting range here.
It's not a good start for Preston. Really struggling to get out of their half so far. So the last thing you want is to invite this kind of pressure from Heidelberg.
Collins has stayed back this time. Left lean will join the attack, but it's more likely to be a direct attempt on goal from here, I wager. Asahi Yokikawa with the wind at his back. 3 in the wall for Lucas Trenkovski. Yokikawa. Did that hit his teammate's back, I think? Might be mistaken, but Preston win it back anyway. Lawton puts one into space. Brooks is never going to get there.
His passes need to be better. When Heidelberg's scrambling like that, you need to make sure that you hit your target, allow Brooks to have that space to run onto the ball.
And the service to Brooks in particular has been a low light.
Yeah, they need to utilise him a lot better. He's making good runs.
Jonas Markovski running off the shoulder. He plays in Brooks. Brooks to cross. Leftlin deals with it well enough. Negro gets a foot in. Out to Tchaikovsky. Oh, that's a completely misplaced pass. Team weights on different wavelengths as Tchaikovsky tries his utmost to make up for his error. Deftly done by Negro. Back to his feet and past his opponent in a flash. Brooks. Negro looking for the return. Does he have the legs here? Has to hold up the play and find the feet of Romero. Now Brooks. Leighton Brooks. Oh, he nutmegged his opponent and drove the ball into the 6-yard box. Heidelberg scramble it away for a corner.
Jeez, that was all Stefan Negro there. Won the ball back on the halfway line. Great combination play. Great defending from Ryan Leftlin there to read the play well and get his foot on it.
Romero on corner duties. It's coming short. And a nasty bounce beats Bell. Sabitnur. Tchaikovsky sliding in, and he's been collected by Jamal Ali inadvertently on the follow-through. Play goes on as Yoshikawa slides it through for Nyor, and Kubele had to time that to perfection.
Great recovery run from Kubele to get there in time to cover for Tchaikovsky.
This looks a worry because Jake Tchaikovsky doesn't go down easily.
Especially in that moment too, you wouldn't go down for no reason when Heidelberg's on a counter-attack.
Watch it again here. It looks like Ali steps on him.
Yeah.
No intent in it, but really painful one. Hopefully there's no serious damage.
Feeling a lot more in these terrible conditions tonight. Feels like it's dropped another few degrees now.
Bell trying to make the point to the referee that there's a pretty visible impact on Tchaikovsky's shin.
Yeah, there's no way the referee was going to see that. And the ball had already gone away. Referee's following the play.
There's a debate as to whether it's even a foul, to be honest.
I don't think so.
Tchaikovsky's put his foot there.
I don't think it was.
Ali has not gone out of his way to do that. I don't think there was any malintent.
As they say, that's football.
Tchaikovsky's really limping here. Question as to whether he can play on. Obvious replacement would be Dom Foligno. Sasha Ognanovsky exchanging a few words with Johnny A in the Heidelberg dugout.
Be a big blow to lose him. He's been superb at left back tonight.
He's limping really heavily, almost on one leg at the moment. Heidelberg will look to make the most of that. Sabitnur's in behind. The ball's going to run away from him. Short goal kick taken as Bozanovsky plays out through pressure. Negro took it very quickly. Preston with no time to waste by the looks of things. Tough one for Markovsky. It bounces up to his chest. Kubele looks it forward towards Romero. Props the run of Tchaikovsky, who's still hobbling. Romero with a great switch. And the one bit of good service is received on the quick switch of play. Leighton Brooks butchers.
We jinxed him before. It's a shame though, because Lauder made a great forward run there. If Brooks was able to bring it down, would have been able to slip him in.
How many times have Preston tried that pass in the first half to no avail? Leighton Brooks will be very frustrated by that. But the wide areas are where Preston can exploit, Ivka.
Well, that's their best moments have come from the wide areas tonight.
Kubalay under a lot of pressure. Coughs it up to Jamal Ali. Slides one through the gap for Buljuach. Doesn't stick with him, the goal scorer. Horton goes back to Bozanovsky.
You can see Jawach has moved slightly across to Anderson instead of Bozanovsky. Bozanovsky was dominating that battle. And Jawach is making sure he gets those one-on-ones with Anderson instead of Bozanovsky.
Well, it makes sense to go for the guy who's making his first start since about round 9.
This goes to show the intelligence levels of Jawach.
Brooks. Tried to skip through 2 there. Oh, risky slide from Lesiotis. This appeal goes up from the crowd. Looked like Lesiotis played the ball. No case to answer there, Ivka.
I think he won that ball cleanly, Lesiotis.
That was my instinct too. Lawton. Delicate 7-iron into the channel. And Connor Bell has strayed the wrong side of the last defender.
Definitely offside. I was looking straight across at the assistant referee as soon as that ball was played.
Preston have one of the better home records in the competition, only bettered by the likes of Heidelberg and Avondale. They've won 5 out of their 7 fixtures here. Fulton gone on a galloping run, and he's won a free kick just outside the box. Fletcher Fulton taking on all comers.
Lazy tackle from Bozanovsky there, just left the trailing leg out. It's a much better position than the previous free kick they had.
Lesiotis looks like he has his name written on this one. Okakawa the other option. Five men in the wall for Preston. Lesiotis goes for goal. Trankovsky seemed to have it covered as it whistles past the post.
It's a good attempt from Lesiotis, not far off.
Now here comes the Heidelberg press. And their fitness levels come to the fore in second halves of games. Heidelberg, they've scored so many of their goals late. Ali. Trying to hold it off Bell. It's going to be a Preston ball.
I have coined the 60th minute onwards Heidelberg time. And score a majority of their goals from that 60th minute onwards.
Kubalay's left that a little short for Anderson. Got it back in to win it, Ollie Kubalay. Lawton did well too. Lesiotis pressing like a madman. Negro gets it out to Brooks. Kubalay. Early ball from Kubalay, looking for Bell at the back stick. His centering header. It's an easy collect for Yaron Souza in the Heidelberg goal.
Preston's got his, their best moments were from those 2 crosses. But I feel like Heidelberg's learned their lesson from those moments earlier on in the game. Preston really struggling to create any other clear-cut chances. Lawton
shows a clean pair of heels to the Heidelberg midfield, but the pass was rather betwixt and between 2 teammates. Newell. Slides into the attacking third and past Tchaikovsky once and twice. Tchaikovsky keeping up the chase. Idara. 35 years of age and still covering just about every blade of grass on the pitch. Ali. Superbly done past Bell and past Kublai as well. Jamal Ali with the centering ball. It's Fletcher Fulton to strike for goal. And then on the spin was Juach. But it whistles past the far post and Preston survive.
Jeez, what a run from Jamal Ali. We spoke about how silky he is. That's a perfect example of it. Most players would overrun that ball. Just the ability to glide past both of them. Great ball across the face of goal too. I feel like Juach on that second attempt probably wasn't aware where he was in that box. Should have hit it probably across the face of goal. Good opportunity for Heidelberg.
Well, I've said before that Jamal Ali's a lock for team of the season. He might be a contender for the gold medal at this rate. Brooks turning on the Jets. And the touch was just too heavy. Ryan Leflin comes in with the big thumping clearance downfield.
Looks very disjointed in attack for Preston tonight. Don't seem like they're on the same page, that front four. I think when Louis Asevsky will look to that bench, number of attacking options on the bench tonight. Albano, Sir Dennis, Jago and Shrone.
Difficult one for Lawton. Adara takes over. Bassetto's down hurt on the far side. Preston showing no inclination to play it out. Romero. Brooks wanted it on the right. Romero turned in fields. Negro. Stefan Negro's cross. Header skims away off Ben Collins. And we will bring play to a halt.
Looks like he could be in a bit of trouble, Bassetto.
Matt Bozanovsky needing some treatment as well, just in front of the Preston dugout. Well, the obvious replacement is Jay McGowan. And he's read his set-piece plans and last-minute instructions by the Heidelberg coaching staff. Eight goals last season in New South Wales for the Sutherland Sharks. Just the one so far this campaign, but most of his appearances have come off the bench.
It's difficult to break into this starting 11 at Heidelberg.
Bassetto is still down. Be interesting to see what sort of a reception Choc Dow gets when he comes off the Burgers bench. Six goals for Preston in 2024. And one unforgettable assist for Connor Bell on the last day of the season at Langwarrin. In the meantime, Heidelberg have made the first change, and it's an enforced one. Max Bassetto limps off, and he'll have to go the long way round as Jay McGowan replaces him on the left flank. This game still delicately poised. Brooks. Brooks with the early ball. Markovsky was lurking. That's off Collins and behind. Yaron Souza couldn't save it.
Just looks dangerous every time he cuts inside, Brooks. Just hard to break down that partnership of Leflin and Collins. They both read the game so well, especially with those balls into the area.
referee just warning Markovski about any infringements against the goalkeeper. A few words exchanged between Sabitnyor and Jake Tchaikovsky. Spot fires everywhere tonight. Preston trailed the last time they played Heidelberg. It was Luke Jego who came off the bench to equalise that day. Romero's corner is too far away from the mix, and Lawton will go for goal. Another half-hearted attempt. Negro had to get rid of it. It's a cracking first touch from Romero to keep that alive. And the ball has nestled on the roof of the grandstand. We won't be seeing that one for a while.
Maybe with this strong wind tonight, it might blow itself down. It's where Preston need to move the ball a lot quicker in this area of the park. It's too slow.
Anderson hammers that switch out to Romero. It's well judged in the wind. Brooks back to Jason Romero. A touch pass, Lesiotis. Romero thought about the strike. Just wouldn't open up for him. Brooks. Low ball. Gets a second bite at it. Leighton Brooks in the second attempt is wild.
That's poor from Brooks. He wasn't set for that. I feel like that was just out of frustration.
Still waiting to see if Preston will ready a change.
If you go back to that earlier meeting at the home of the Matildas, I remember Preston made a four-man change to change that whole forward line. And it worked wonders. That's when Jego came on and 2 minutes later scored the equaliser. Wonder if Louis Assesky goes for that same type of substitution.
That goal kick has fallen straight to Brooks. Lesiotis slides in superbly. Kubelay's attempted chip comes up short. Tchaikovsky had to make sure. Trenkovsky. Heidelberg putting the Preston Lions under all sorts of pressure here. Kubelay's header. Romero. Lawton back to Tchaikovsky. Romero. This is very sharp from both teams. It's a great press from Heidelberg, and Preston keep their cool. Now Brooks prompting the run of Negro. Jay McGowan has the fresh legs off the bench to keep up with him. Throw in right in front of the Preston grandstands. Seems as if every time Preston go forward, the fans find another voice, another gear. Their faith might be wavering if Preston cop a second. Newell. Ali. Leftley. Out to McGowan. Knocked on by McGowan towards Yokokawa. Bozanowski struggling to keep his feet. McGowan carries it to the byline. It's away by Anderson there. Or in fact, it was Tchaikovsky. Superb defending at the last. Jake Tchaikovsky to the rescue for Preston.
It's a great play by Heidelberg though. Moved the ball around so well. Direct with intent. It's been good since he's come on, McGowan. Just a great ball into the area.
Fulton's throw. Both Heidelberg fullbacks still nursing a yellow card. Anastasiadis has showed no inclination to change them. Juach outnumbered. McGowan gets a foot in. Heidelberg come away again. Lesiotis. Yokikawa. Yokikawa keeps his feet. Anderson felt he was caught by a trailing arm. Yokikawa still going and flashes his side-footed strike just wide of the far post.
Jeez, Anderson did well initially, but Yokikawa just too clever to get around him. Space really opened up for him. Preston off the hook there.
Particularly Anderson. Whether he copped a stray arm or not. Romero.
Those first two goal kicks at the start of the second half from Jankowski that fell short. It's really affected Preston to get out of their own half. You know, he doesn't have the confidence to take the long kick at the moment, and they're playing short, but Heidelberg is suffocating them.
Goal kick is the verdict from the assistants. Negro pumps it forward. McGowan. That ball stayed in play. Bosinovsky cuts off the through ball. Well done by Lawton. Advantage paid to Preston as Romero finds Connor Bell darting into space, but Jamal Ali recovers in time to make the crucial challenge. And Connor Bell showed him too much of the ball.
Just second-guessed himself in that moment. Connor Bell needed to back himself and just run direct at goal. Wasn't confident to take that touch forward.
Brooks. Leighton Brooks onto his left. No way through past McGowan. Lawton, early cross. Souza underneath it. And Jonas Markovski is holding his head, but he was offside anyway. Medical staff was called on, but Markovski's okay to continue. There was a push in the back from Tchaikovsky on Nior.
It's a clear foul.
Well, there's been a war of words between those two over the past 2 minutes, ever since Nior is perceived to have given Tchaikovsky a late bump.
Yeah, I picked up on that as well. Josh has been following it for the last couple of minutes.
Anderson. Ali would have been offside against Newell, but didn't become active.
15 minutes to go. Preston need to start taking some risks going forward.
And the paperwork has been filed now for a Preston substitution. Tchaikovsky. Lawton. Lesiotis. Another throw in for the home side. John Albano will be the first summoned from the bench. He was the headline act. And Preston won at home against South Melbourne earlier this season. Can he come up with another big moment in a derby?
Does love the big stage, John Albano. We've seen him over the years in big moments deliver.
Lawton. That's a superb tackle from Lesiotis. And Lawton wins it back just as cleanly. And now Preston are on the burst. And it's Romero. Can't keep it alive. Romero went sliding in. He's conceded the free kick as well.
We speak about Jamal Ali's ability to get forward, but his defensive work is exceptional as well.
Right, Jamal Ali jawing at Romero there. He's got to be very careful. He's being restrained by his teammates. He's already on a yellow card here.
Following in the footsteps of his namesake, Muhammad Ali.
Always got something to say.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Connor Bell is withdrawn for John Albano. It's a straight swap on that flank.
Had a quiet night, Connor Bell. Besides that big opportunity in the first half with the header, haven't seen too much off him.
And still, Jamal Ali is making some pretty frank points, shall we say, to the official.
It's a good time-wasting tactic. So is it down now as well, the old goalkeeper down.
Heidelberg will seek to eat up every remaining second they can. Gets the thumbs up from the physio Souza. I don't think there was any doubt that he was going to continue.
Shock horror.
He's got 3 yellow cards already this season, Souza. One for talking back last week, which was given from about 20 metres away, which must have been a loud objection. Oh, it's Nior running on the blind side, and Bozanovski's header had to be perfect. Tchaikovsky for Kubalay, and an obvious foul against Anthony Lesiotis. Tchaikovsky takes it quickly. Gives Stefan Negro something to chase. Lawton slips it through the gap. No way through for Negro. Bozanovski. It was a hopeful ball more than anything.
They've tried these high balls a lot tonight. They just haven't been working for them.
I wonder what the next change is for Preston. If nothing eventuates in the next couple of minutes, surely they have to turn to the bench again.
Well, look at Dzeko coming on for Lawton perhaps, and just pushing him up closer to Romero to get some more numbers up forward. I do need to start taking some risks, Preston.
Dzeko hasn't seen a minute since tearing his hamstring against the Knights in round 10. Be a big game to come back into. Romero, surrounded by yellow jerseys. Tchaikovsky has to go backwards.
Romero inside, come here. Go to the midfield, take it. Go!
Preston bench telling Tchaikovsky to invert a little narrower and give them extra body in holding midfield.
Just allow Romero to get more into the box.
Negro prompting and probing.
Just Heidelberg works so well as a unit, you know, especially defensively. See Noor tracking back, Joach as well, helping out.
Brooks throws a step over and feeds it in low for Markovsky. Appeals from the fans more than the players.
That's just world-class defending from Ben Collins.
Coolly done by Tchaikovsky. And Jake Tchaikovsky has space in front of him. Cedes possession to John Albano. And loses out with his first real involvement. Haidara. Loose touch from Nior. Allows Tchaikovsky to slide in. Again, the war of words between those two continues. Now Ben Collins is down.
Jeez, he read that challenge so well, Ben Collins. Such an intelligent defender. This is the experience Heidelberg's got as well. They know how to manage a game. You know, constantly stop, start, bringing the trainer on, kill those minutes off the clock. As much as the referee will stop his clock and say it goes into added time, it never really does. Surprised that Preston's only made the one change so far. 80th minute. You'd expect more changes probably going forward, considering they haven't made too many clear-cut opportunities.
Collins is going to limp off for the next passage of play. Looks okay to continue after that. Ali. Joach. Nior stood on the ball. Tchaikovsky hacks it clear, only as far as left lean. McGowan. Great poise from him. Ali finds a gap. And now Sabit Nior turns towards goal. And he's chased down by Brandon Lawton. Heidelberg win it back high again. Second, third chances at this attack. Can they make it count? Yokokawa out to McGowan. McGowan dribbles in field and finds Lesiotis. Joach on the turn. McGowan wanted it back to feet there. Shout for handball. Lesiotis goes for goal. And it whistles just wide.
Jeez, everyone just stopped there, didn't they? From both sides.
Everyone was expecting the whistle that never came.
Great strike from Lesiotis.
Yeah, on the spin on his weaker foot from 25 yards out. That was a decent effort. Anderson. Albano. Let's see what he was trying to do. Does well to win it back off Ali. No whistle for Preston. Away comes Sabit Nior. Kubalay held his ground. Lawton. Thought about the quick switch. Instead he goes for the simple ball to Negro. Leighton Brooks in space down the right. Back inside for Negro. It was a difficult ball for him to get onto. And credit to Bull Joach running all the way back from centre forward. He's worked his socks off tonight. Romero. Oh, and Souza's down again.
Preston faithful have recognised that as well. Because I think we're going to see a fair chunk of added time put up on that board soon. Again, you know, some good game management from Heidelberg. Just haven't allowed Preston to have any momentum in this second half.
Did come into the game sporting strapping on one leg.
You see, you just mentioned that Jawach, how he's tracked back. Sabitnor's done the same thing all night. They look like they haven't broken a sweat. The ability, especially on such a big pitch at Jenner Steele Stadium, the ability to get up and down all night.
Aaron Souza back up on his feet. Albano. Bozanovsky. Negro. Kubalay. Finding Albano. Albano's early delivery is easy for Ben Collins to head away. Newell coming in strongly on Tchaikovsky. And taking on Albano. He's so poised, Sabit Newell. Finding the free run of his teammate in the middle. Lesiotis. Preston defence backing off, and Lesiotis unleashes the strike. Well off target. I'm sure Lucas Trankowski is copying it from the Heidelberg away ends. Don't think he would have got that ball back quickly if it had cleared the fence. Despite the freezing weather in Melbourne tonight, this is a red-blooded rivalry. And you've seen it again there. Tchaikovsky has plenty to say to Newell as he goes over. Meanwhile, Preston on the counter. Albano past Ali, but not past Collins. Ali. Good weight on the pass from Ali, and it forces Trankowski off his line.
Read that well, Trankowski off his line quickly.
Well, after a couple of shaky moments in the first half, Jamal Ali, he's had a storming game. Almost improved after he got the yellow card.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Really solid on that right-hand side. It's been a great team performance from Heidelberg, really. Just haven't allowed Preston to sniff in the second half.
Jawach holds off Kubalay. Jawach kicking past Anderson as well. How many mazy runs have we seen from those Heidelberg attackers in those situations? Ball was out for a goal kick anyway.
He must put on some good dribbling sessions, Johnny Anastasiadis.
You just sign players who can do that. You can't teach that. Albano with a blind pass into traffic. Preston still only made the one change as we head towards stoppage time. Souza pumps it forwards as far as he can muster. Sabit Newell, 1v1 with Tchaikovsky. Newell hits the deck. He cannot believe he hasn't got a free kick there. Kubalay. Great spot to find Albano. 7 minutes up on the board. Albano can't beat Collins. Might get a second bite at this. Needs support. He's totally isolated out on the left. Kubalay. Kubelay's delivery again, it's straight onto the head of Ben Collins, who's been perfectly positioned for every cross in this second half. And Choctaw is about to come into the game, I'm sure, to a chorus of boos.
It's been very repetitive from Preston in attack. You know, they've shifted around, try and get the ball out wide, and then a ball into the area.
Not a bad ball from Anderson, though. And Brooks is in behind. And again, the danger is cleared. Ben Collins, every time. He is the right man in the right spot. McGowan clears his lines. Double change ready from the visitors. Choctaw and Peter Klaassen are going to be introduced. Romero's early ball. Straight to Yaron Souza. Jonas Markovski's counting on his fingers. Yaron Souza upfield. Bozanovsky into touch, and Heidelberg will make those changes. Asahi Yokokawa withdrawn. So too the goal scorer, Bull Juach. Hasn't been a vintage Yokokawa performance, but he still comes up with a telling contribution.
He did have a brilliant moment in the second half as well.
Yokokawa ordered off on the far side. Referee reaching for his pocket.
That was unnecessary, just wasted more time then. He's ready to come off.
Going to chase Juach off himself. The old stare down.
Great performance from Juach. Not just the goal, fantastic finish, but his work rate's been unbelievable tonight.
Just about sums up Preston's second half.
It's killed a minute off the clock that they didn't need to happen.
Time working against Preston now. We've got 7 minutes minimum of stoppage time tonight, though. Free kick goes the way of the home side against Klaassen, his first involvement.
Romero had acres of space there in the middle of the park if Bozanovsky saw him.
So Preston have one last charge in their legs, so with this remorseless Heidelberg machine, just keep churning out results. Scream of frustration from Tchaikovsky. Preston will make a final change. Heidelberg ball again. Giorgio Sir Dennis is ready to come on. Ollie Kubelay's is coming off. So it's last roll of the dice from Preston. Two up top.
I thought they would have made that change probably 10 minutes earlier.
It's going to be a Heidelberg free kick.
It's handy to have a player like Klaassen come on for you in these dying moments as well. A big body up top just to hold that ball up.
Heidelberg have really no interest in playing this into the box. Klaassen's the only target in there.
This is where Preston should gamble a little bit and throw a couple more bodies up forward.
Dow will play it short. Sabitnior will hold it in the corner. Dow. That's what he's been brought on to do. Heidelberg corner, and we'll have the same routine again. No doubt. Preston with 3-4 players waiting on the halfway line.
Brooks has got a lot of space out there if they can win the ball back and find him quickly.
One back by Albano. In fact, it was Romero, I should say. But just as quickly, Mohamed Idara takes over and goes for the corner. Assistant referee is flagging for a goal kick.
This is Preston's moment now. They need to go.
Time is a-wasting for the home side. That's an awful ball from Bozanovsky. Somehow it stayed in. It'll do Preston no favours as Giorgio Serdanis coughs up a free kick with his first involvement.
It's a really poor pass from Bozanovsky. He's been good in defence tonight, but that's a coach killer, that one.
I think he's picked up a knock. I think he's soldiering on, but he was receiving treatment at the Preston bench during one of the Heidelberg stoppages before.
I feel like that was the moment for Preston.
Well, we'll see how long Calvin Berg decides to add on at the end of this 7 minutes of stoppage time. Heidelberg have seen this out with such professionalism and conviction. Now, Jamal Ali is limping. I don't believe for a minute that any of these players are suffering cramp. They're too fit. Bozanovsky gives Trenkovsky a lot to do. Clearance doesn't go anywhere far. Plesiotis recycles out to Sabit Nyor, who nutmegs Trajkovsky. That's brilliant. It's going to be a throw-in. He thinks he was fouled.
Past the 7 minutes of added time now.
It's all at the discretion of the referee. We've had stoppages in stoppage time.
Will be allocated a further 15 minutes post-game to exit the venue, so we come out and please follow the directions of the club officials and marshals and leave the precinct properly.
Corner ball.
The final whistle. And during that time, we'll ask our home team supporters located at the relevant end of the ground in the grandstand.
That's the ball game, really.
In those areas for that 15-minute period.
It's been a game management exhibition the last few minutes. Haven't seen a lot of football played. Heidelberg have already let their feet do the talking tonight. And that is full time. And Heidelberg with a massive win on their charge for silverware. Derby delight for the Burgers as they win away at BT Connor Reserve for the first time in 14 years. Was Buljuach with the decisive first half goal after the ball was threaded through by Asahi Yokokawa. He's the hero tonight, but this group of Heidelberg players put on such a clinic and never wavered. In fact, as the clock ticked into stoppage time, the ball was all down Preston's end, Ivka. That was a display of a champion team.
100%, Josh. That was a very professional performance from Heidelberg. Difficult to come away from home in a hostile atmosphere, but they didn't shy away from it. Didn't really create too many chances, but you know, that Jwach moment was the one that they needed and capitalised on. Preston, poor performance in the second half. Wasn't desperate enough. They'll be disappointed with that performance, but Heidelberg deserved all 3 points, and you know they moved back to the top of the table temporarily.
We'll wait to see what Avondale have to say about that on Monday evening when they play Melbourne Victory. But Heidelberg, top of the table tonight. Preston back to the drawing board as they prepare to face South Melbourne in a blockbuster next Sunday at Lakeside. Thank you for your company on the live stream this evening. I've been Josh Parrish, Mark Ivkovic. Pleasure to have your company once again.
Likewise, Josh.
We'll sign off here With these scenes as Heidelberg celebrate. The final score, Preston Lions 0, Heidelberg United 1.